Good evening, Bethewoneers, and welcome to this quiz in English with me, Hayley Edmonds. Now, as you can probably tell by the decor and by my attire, it's a Davis Cup special. Yes, the tennis tournament that just got underway, or the finals, today in Lille, France. France are the current champions. They won last year against Belgium, and they're facing Croatia in the final. They're actually 1-0 down after a particularly difficult day in Lille. But Yannick Noah, I'm sure he's got a few things on his plate. So let's just hope they do better, because we're obviously in France and Bethewone and all that. So yes, let's go. So tonight there's €100 up for grabs. Yes, €100 and an extra 50 for those who get 100% everything right, play strategically. I'll talk about that in a second, and get 960 points. So how does one go about winning either €100 or €150? Well, there are 9 questions that have to be answered, of course, between you and you winning your part in either of the jackpots. Each question is allocated a certain number of points, from question number 1 that's worth 10 points right up to question number 9, which is worth 100 points. And of course, because we're generous, we just love giving money away, we're going to make it that little bit easier for you by giving you 4 jokers. Yes, you have 4 jokers, 2 50-50s that will take away 2 wrong answers per question, and 2 multiple jokers, so 1 joker that will multiply a point score by 3 and another by 5. So as I was saying, talking about playing strategically, keep those jokers in your pocket until the last 3 questions, 7 and 8, which are worth 80 points, and question number 9, 100 points. So let's get this game, set and match started for a Davis Cup special. Let's take it away. Question number 1. The first Davis Cup was held in which year? Was it 1818? Was it 1918? Was it 1900? Or was it 1901? The first Davis Cup was held in which year? Now, it's the oldest tennis team competition, and the very first competition or tournament was the United States against the British Isles at the time, or Great Britain as we know it now. So I want to know what year the first Davis Cup was held. The right answer, ladies, we're at the 118th year. It's 1900. Yes, in 1900 was the first time the tournament was held. Now, I'm going to go to some statistics. Right. So 28% of you got that one correct. 30% of you thought it was 1901. 31% of you thought it was 1918. And 11% of you thought it was 1818. Oh, you guys, you're off such a great start. David Tompran Galaban, you got that one right, my friend. Let's move on to question number 2 of this quiz in English on the Davis Cup. Which country has won the most tournaments? Is it the United States of America? Is it Australia? Is it France? Or is it Belgium? Now, which country has won the most tournaments? Yes, it's a complicated one. Considering in the very first, there were just 2, it was just USA against the British Isles, and it was the British, and it was USA that won 3-0. Anyway, we'll move on. I want to know which country has won the most tournaments. Well, they were off to a great start. Yes, in 1900, it was the US of A. They have won the most tournaments. 32 to be precise, just after Australia, who have won 28 tournaments. So let's check out the statistics. How have you guys done? Well, 53% of you got the right answer. It was, of course, USA. 18% of you thought it was Australia. 23% of you thought it was France. No, you're current winners. You're the current title holders, but you haven't won the most tournaments. And 6% of you thought it was Belgium. Lucif Merouane, you got that one right. Let's move on to question number 3. Which year did the Davis Cup get its present name? Now, just to say, initially it wasn't called Davis Cup. They changed it, but what year did they change it in? Which year did they think, okay, you know what, we're going to change it. We're going to give it another name. And it is actually named after its founder, Dwight E. Davis. That's a clue for you. In fact, if you know who he is. The right answer is 1945. It was first called it. He passed away in 1945, and they put the name. They took his name and they said, right, we're going to call it that. And 1946 was the first year. So there we go. The first year Davis Cup did get its present name from its founder, Dwight K. Davis. Statistically, guys, you didn't do too badly. 33% of you got that one correct. 19% of you thought it was 1915. 27% of you thought it was 1935, and 21% of you thought it was 1925. Kate, 1 and 3. You got that one right. Well done, Kate. Keep it up. Question number 4. Where were the 2015 Davis Cup finals held? Now, were they held in Antwerp? Were they held in Bruges or Brussels? Were they held in Ghent? Or were they held in Liège? Now, where were the 2015 Davis Cup finals held? Now, some were in Belgium. There's a big clue for you guys. Now, where were they held? They were the finalists last year, but they got beaten by France. In 2015, they were held in Ghent. Yes, they were held in Ghent. Now, I'm just going to check out the statistics, see how you guys did. Oh, you guys. 26% of you got that one correct. 30% of you thought it was Brussels. 19% of you thought it was Antwerp. And 24% of you thought it was Liège. Hola, chica. You got that one right, my friend. Don't forget, there's a quiz in Spanish just after. So if you're Spanish, hola, chica, well, stay on Be The One, because at 9 o'clock, Alfonso will be here to present the quiz in Spanish. Esto es muy fáciles. Or not. Moving on to question number 5. I want to know who is the youngest player to win the Davis Cup, or to have won the Davis Cup. Is it Jim Courier? Is it Rafael Nadal? Is it Andy Murray? Or is it Roger Federer? And of course, as it's a team competition, it wasn't him uniquely, but he won a singles match. And I want to know who it was, the youngest player, to win the Davis Cup that his nation went on to win. There we go. I hope I explained it well. I hope it's clear for you. The right answer, at 18 years and 6 months old, he registered a single victory for winning against Andy Roddick. And the answer is Rafael Nadal. Rafael Nadal. 46% of you got that one correct. 22% of you thought it was Jim Courier. Fire in the hole. I did an interview with him at the Roland Garros, and he said, I said, ready? And he said, fire in the hole. I found that funny. 16% of you thought it was Andy Murray, my homie. And 16% of you thought it was Roger Federer. Just joking, guys. Hating me for my explanation, for my pronunciation, rather. Kaki, you got that one right. You've also got 200 points. You're halfway to winning a part of 100 euros, so keep it up. For question number 6, which of these countries has not held the Fed Cup and Davis Cup at the same time? Now, for those of you who don't know what the Fed Cup is, it's the equivalent, but for the ladies, yes. Is it Australia? Is it the Czech Republic? Is it USA or is it France? Now, which of these countries has not held the Fed Cup and the Davis Cup at the same time? Let's think about that. They have not held them at the same time. Drum roll. Talking a lot about France today, and we're going to talk about even more because it's them. They have not held the 2 tournaments at the same time. Australia, Czech Republic, and USA have. Pinoof, you got that one correct. Well done. Now let's talk about statistics. The majority of you got that one correct. 39% of you, to be precise. 30% of you thought it was Czech Republic. 17% of you thought it was Australia. And 15% of you thought it was the US of A. Happy Thanksgiving to all of those who, all of our American watchers or players. It was yesterday, the 22nd of November, so happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're thankful for Be The One. There we go. You're welcome. Let's move on to question number 7. Which player has won the most Davis Cup finals? Is it John Fire in the Hole Courier? Is it the Australian Roy Emerson? Is it, I can't believe it, John McEnroe? Or is it the Spanish beautiful guy, the youngest player to win, Rafael Nadal? Which player has won the most Davis Cup finals? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is our Aussie, Roy Emerson. Yes, he has. In fact, he's a record 8 Davis Cup winning teams. He has been in a record 8 winning cup teams from the 1950s to the 1960s. There we go. Let's see the statistics, mate. Right, 40% of you got that one correct. 12% of you thought it was John Fire in the Hole Courier. 21% of you thought it was John, I can't believe it, McEnroe. And 26% of you thought it was Rafael Nadal. Now, talking about John McEnroe, I really recommend the biopic on Bjorn Borg's life because we do see, it's basically about the final that put John McEnroe and Bjorn Borg together in Wimbledon. And it is a cracking film. Shia LaBeouf, love your work, mate. Real professional, real convincing. So yes, it's a definitely recommendation from Hayley Edmonds. Go and watch the Bjorn Borg biopic. Question numero 8. Which country won the 1978 Davis Cup but have not made a final since? Is it South Africa? Is it Italy? Is it Sweden? Or is it Serbia? Now, which country won the 1978 Davis Cup but haven't made a final since? The right answer, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Africa. It's South Africa. Yeah, it's South Africa. I watched them play rugby the other week against France and they won last minute, but whatever. So yes, South Africa. They did actually indeed win in 1974. We'll talk about that in just a second. I won't give any more clues as to why, what, who, where, when. Statistically, 49% of you got that one correct. 20% of you thought it was Italy. 17% of you thought it was Sweden. And 15% of you thought it was Serbia. Solo, I'm solo, 42, you got that one correct. You've also got 400 points, so you've got your part already in 100 euros. So just, you know, free fall from here, babe. Right, question number 9 of this quiz in English. The ultimate question is worth 100 points. Now, I want to know why India didn't play in the 1974 Davis Cup finals. Now, was it because South Africa had an all-white policy? Was it in protest of over the South African government's apartheid policies? Was it because their team was struck down with a virus? Or was it because a team member was tested positive for doping? Now, why didn't India play in the 1974 Davis Cup finals? That was actually South Africa that won by default, but I want to know why. Why, tell me why South Africa beat India without even playing? I will tell you in a second. Tell me why. I never want to hear you say, I want it that way. The right answer, guys, is in protest over the South African government's apartheid policies. Yes, they did not play against South Africa in the finals in protest. Well, there we go. That's why South Africa is only one time that they're in the finals. Well, not why they're in the finals, but that's why they didn't win or didn't even play in the finals against South Africa. Now, statistically, guys, a lot of you got that one right. In fact, 75% of you got that one correct. I think you're all using your jokers and your multiples. I reckon you're using them both 50-50s and multiples. Well, guys, sad to say, but as of Monday, that will no longer be possible. Oh, no. You can only use one joker per question. Anyway, so 75% of you got that one correct. 10% of you thought it was because South Africa had an all-white policy. 8% of you thought it was their team was stuck down with a virus. And 8% of you thought it was their team member was tested positive to doping. Now, Mohamed Atef, you got that one correct, my friend. Statistics, 394 people will be going home with their share of 100 euros. Sorry. They will be winning 25 cents each person, which isn't bad. And we have 36 super winners tonight, which equates to €1.64. So if you're a super winner tonight, make it rain. Oh yes. Talking about making it rain, tomorrow night there'll be €500 up for grabs in a rugby special. Yes, France will be playing Fiji, England will be playing Australia, so what a better place to actually host our quiz than in an English pub in Paris. So guys, tune in tomorrow at 9 o'clock for a rugby special, okay? Yeah, we want to kind of repeat what we did in 2003, guys, you know? I'm all out of this. Anyway, yes, tune in tomorrow for a rugby special, and it will be live from an English pub in Paris. So there we go. And it'll be at the same time that France will be playing Fiji. So it'll be just a whole culmination of results and days. And anyway, it'll be really exciting, really good. So rendezvous tomorrow, 9 o'clock, and be the one. And make it rain, €500 up for grab, guys. See you then. Good night.